Hi everybody, welcome to Jenkins Boat Works. I am Chuck Jenkins. In this video, we continue work on our Somme Sound 12.5 sailboat building project. We've got an exciting video today. We are to that point where we are starting to plank. And this video will concentrate on spiling. If you're not familiar with that, spiling is a technique that is used to try to get the exact pattern for what the plank should look like. And of course, nothing is straight. It's all very strange curves. So anyway, we're glad you're here. Hope you'll like this. I am kind of a novice at this, and I learned a lot from YouTube and other boat builders and videos. Shout out to Mark at Nomad Boat Building and also Lou at Tips for a Shipwright. Invaluable. If you haven't watched their videos or checked out their channels, you should probably do that. And so anyway, we are going to do spiling today, and we're going to create a plank. And so anyway, and stay tuned because the next video will be coming soon, and we will actually show you how we hang this plank on here. This one is attached. So it's going great. You may have some comments for me about how I might be able to spile and do it better. And there's multiple different methods of spiling. So don't hesitate, go ahead and leave your comments. If you happen to be new to the channel or you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps us greatly. And if you subscribe, click the little bell so you get update notifications on future videos. There's a lot coming. And we're getting to that point where it's pretty exciting. So glad you're here. Let's jump in and I'll show you what kind of work we're getting done. Say hi to everybody, Toby. What a bit, it's a good dog. Hey, can you sit? Sit? Good. Do you want a cookie? So we got this, it's 5mm, so it's not quite a 1/4 inch thick plywood, just cheap stuff I picked up at Lowe's yesterday. It's a 4x8 sheet. I got 2.5 inch strip here, 2.5 inch strip, as well as this one up here. And so we're gonna use these for our spiling battens. I've done some spiling before, like on bulkheads and that sort of thing, but I've never done it on planking. I understand the concept, watched a lot of video myself, and actually think it's going to be a lot of fun. But there's going to be some trial and error as I figure this out. So most of the deal is you don't want to edge set your batten. You want it to just lay there flat without being forced or anything like that. Now, we are going to have to bend it up there in the front, but we don't want to twist it or otherwise. It just needs to lay flat. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to put it in here, right close to where I think I want it to go, and I'm going to go ahead and put some little finishing nails in here. Back here, it's relatively easy. I'm just going to try to go in the middle of where the plank goes. And I think we may use a compass to try to get our marks. To cut that part off. I'm also going to mark exactly where this is on the frame so that I know and I can go back to it. I should be able to hot glue that together. Okay, so on this plan sheet, we can see our planking stock. And so it shows garboard here is just a straight one. The only ones that use the bent ones with the 7-inch angle is planks 3 and 4. So we're going to be good on this. So we'll have 2 sheets here. We should be able to get the garboard number 2 and number 5 out of these. 3 is a bent one, 4 is a bent one, 5 back out of this one. These dudes are 2 feet wide. As I had noted earlier, they are not 16 foot long. We had 2 8-foot pieces of plywood with a 2 1/4-inch scarf. I just measured them. They're 15, 9 3/4. But that won't matter on the garboard. We're nowhere near 16 feet for that. And so I got some of my planking stock, one piece, and laid it out on my kayak building strong back. And it's 16 feet, so that's just perfect. So we got our Spiling batten up here, and it's nailed down, and we hot glued it together. And so it runs all the way back here. I think I'm going to try to use a compass and just pick the points. So we're going to try to go up to the top here where the plank should lay on the keelson, and then the inside edge of the batten, because the batten's laying right on the plank line, down below the plank line. So the plank should be from here up to here, and so on the whole length of it. It's going to be fairly wide up there in the middle of the boat. That looks like a good 10 inches or so. So anyway, we're going to try to use our planking stock as carefully and judiciously as we can. I do have some more laying up there on the wall, but it ain't cheap. So we're going to try to get as many planks out of these as we can. And I'm going to quit stalling and see if I can try my hand at making these measurements. All right, we're going to try to take some measurements. I found my divider, and I've had this a long time and never had much of a use for it. Learned some of this stuff from Lou, tips from a shipwright. So we're going to come back into the batten here, kind of try to come right halfway in the middle of the frame. And that's about the end of it right there. So there's my little mark right there. And that's up and that one. Now we're going to come down. Well, let's just do it here, maybe close on this one. I mean, you can do this wherever you want. I'm doing it on the molds or on the frames, but it might not hurt to do, one kind of in the middle, a few more points of reference. I do think I'm going to do that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I stuck the divider in here, and then I expanded it all the way up to the top of the bevel, and then I locked that position and swung it around and created this arc over here. So I know that because I got a little arrow that tells me going up. The mark, I stuck my pencil in there so I know exactly where I dug the divider in, and so it should be that distance. And I did all the ones for the keelson to the right. And then here, okay, so that's, here, so that arc is the distance to here, and this arc is the distance down to here, because the batten's laying on the plank line. So we just did that for all of them. And we'll take this off and go lay it on the planking stock and see if we can create a plank. Huh, this is pretty exciting. Hope it works. Okay, so I pulled all the nails, but I left them in the holes, and that worked out good, because I'm just going to take this over now onto our planking stock. I hope my hot glue holds. Okay, there's one where we were just already set on that arc right there. I don't know how we know where the deepest part of it is. There's a way to do that and I don't remember. We knew that was really close, and like this one, it's right on there. We know that that one, the line's right there. So that's cool. Okay, now we're going to do the top ones. So this first one is right there. So all right, so I've got these arcs, and I got to find where is the biggest distance away from the hole high. So in other words, if I put a nail in here, it's going to be too thin. It needs to be up here. And you can kind of eyeball it. See, that's the top of the arc there. I went ahead and got this little square out and just holding it up there and kind of lining it up with this hole. And for the most part, I can see like that shows 5 inches. And then if I move it over, it starts getting shorter, and you can see it's shorter. So I just went in to the middle there and got the highest point of each arc. Now I just drive nails in at the top of each arc, at the highest point of each arc. Hopefully this creates a nice fair curve. We'll put a batten on it here in a second. Marks. The other thing I can tell at this point is that the arcs, I was at the highest mark of the arc because the batten would cover up a higher spot. So I'm feeling real good about that. Honestly, I don't really know what happens back here because I didn't have much more measurement. I do know that this is the end of the transom. We'll probably just run our line just straight out. Okay, so this batten's still on here, so you can see the upper edge that's for the keelson. And now this batten's still on here, but I've drawn my line on the inside of that. So we're gonna pull that, pull this Spiling batten board, and that should be our plank. That's really cool. So we got most of this roughed out where we got an idea of what this plank's supposed to look like. This is a garboard. And one thing I noticed right when I was walking out the door last night was it feels like there's a little dip right there. I'm gonna fair that out. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit. It's not terrible. It's probably right based on the shape of the keelson, but I can always trim some off. Wear your eye protection. It's a plank. Woo! It's a moment of truth. Oh my. I did not draw plank lines on this, or frame lines. Hopefully it's just gonna fit right down on that batten. Tune in next time when we fair it, fit it, and actually glue in a plank. See you next time. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.